and welcome to my video today. Today we are going to talk about how you can buy a property outright here in the UK. It will be a step-by-step guide, and I hope it keeps you fulfilled in all the information you want and seek. Be sure to watch to the end. Let's get straight to it. The first thing in doing to purchase a property outright is to understand what your budget is. What is your financial options? What are they? What do you have access to? So you want to look at things like your mortgage ability, your financial stability, what savings you may have, anything in escrow or in or out of it, but any form of money behind you that you will be putting into that property. Understand exactly what that amount is, because this will save you so much time when you finally get started, get looking for property. You can just go dive in straight into exactly what you're looking for. So have an idea of that type of information. Next is to research and choose a location. Find exactly where it is you want to invest in. Now, it could be a wide range, and sometimes it's better if it is, because then you can be open to so much more property options, especially if you're in a small budget. So sometimes your budget will determine where you go. But either way, however it happens, understand where you want to locate to, where this investment property is going to be, and make sure you know those numbers too. That's probably a whole nother point that I'll come to, but understand the location. Now, things to look for when you're looking at the location is amenities. Is it near doctor surgeries, schools, transport links? What about employers? Good employers, big employers, so you know that you can be housing people who are in employment, because that's where you want to be, somewhere where there's a lot of employment, unless you are deciding to specialize in the social sector, where you will be taking on people who are on local housing authority provisions, or maybe on universal credit of some sort, and they're getting support. If you're happy with those type of tenants like I am, then you can also just kind of be open to wherever you look. Then you won't be necessarily reduced by having to be by certain amenities. But I think being near these facilities will always allow your property to be in demand. It will be somewhere that's always desirable to live. Think about it, where you live, I'm sure it's next to those facilities, so you also want to buy property like that also. So determine your location will be the next point that you do. Next is to go and find that property. Go searching for your property. Now here you can use estate agents, both online and offline. You can use auctions, walk straight off the high street and go physically looking. Or you can be creative and put letters through the door, put leaflets through the door, or write letters directly to investors or landlords or vendors, depending on the type of property you are looking to purchase and what reason why you'd be looking to purchase. Taking in those factors into consideration, go house hunting. If you are looking for investment properties, then you can even use deal sourcers, and these are people who will find properties for you that suit your criteria, and then you would purchase that deal off of them and then go ahead and buy the property. So that's another route to market if you are looking for investment property. But if not, and you're just looking for a typical buy to let, then you can go through the estate agents. But the main thing is find the property that suits your requirements. So here, if you are looking for an investment property, make sure the numbers work. The money in is working and the money out is working. This is all around finding the right property. The right property would include the income that it makes for you. What income does it generate for you on a weekly, monthly, annual basis that will help you to achieve the yield that you're looking to achieve? Now, there are ceilings with certain yields in certain areas. So again, these things will drive you to your previous point, which is the location. It will drive you to where your location is if you want to get really high yielding properties. For example, in London, you will not get the best yielding type of properties, where in here in South Wales, you will get high yielding properties. Likewise with up north, will also get high yielding properties. So remember to look around, look at the type of market you're going into, to make sure that that property that you find is actually the right property. There's no point in going to look for a HMO where you can put students in if you are looking in an area where there are no universities. Okay, so make it make sense. Once you've gone looking for the property, the next thing you will have to do is view these properties. You will call in, get these viewings booked in, and then go and check them out. Now, when you're looking at the property, you're looking for things like any repairs that may need doing, or any faults or issues with the property that would need fixing, which would have to come out of your pocket. For the benefit of you fixing it, you would want a discount. So make sure that you heavily look for any issues with the properties so you can be fully aware of what you're getting yourself into. A thing you can do here is get a surveyor booked in. If there is a property you absolutely love, you have to buy, a survey would be fantastic for the property, because that way a surveyor would come in and look at everything, the roof, the ceiling, the walls, the interior, the exterior, and look for things that you may not have the eye to do. So the next thing on your list would be book a viewing, and if you love that property, get a survey. So if you do plan to put it in your name or have the property put into a company, now would be the time to think about getting all your paperwork set up for that company. So things like going onto company's house and registering the company, giving it the right SIC codes so that the property is owned in the company name and you would be sitting there as director. Any other directors or any other owners will then go on to that company as well, and everyone will be listed in there with some form of shares or personal or significant control. So these are the times to really think about that. If you want more information on that or want a video on that, do let me know and I can provide more information about that. But that will be the time to think about it. But not that. This will be the time to think about it. Next is to make an offer. Make an offer on that property. So I've done a video about where you can make an offer and how to make a successful offer here. Check that out. But next is to make an offer on the property. Now, how would you do this? You would write an email to the agency. Let's just say you found the property through an agency, you viewed the property, you was absolutely in love. You're now thinking, okay, I need to get a survey on this house. First of all, put an offer in, okay? Make an offer via email. Put in the information that, hi, I'm very interested in this property and I'm super keen to collect it. The only challenge I have here is that there are quite a few issues that I'm concerned about and would need addressing. In looking at these issues, I estimate it to be around £5,000 or £6,000 or whatever the amount is. And as a result, I would see that I would like to put forward this offer, £100,000, to take into consideration all the other elements I may have to fix. Considering you are happy with this offer, I would like to send my surveyor in there to have a look, and also please see attached my decision in principle alongside a copy of my finance. So your finance might be your deposit or it might be your decision in principle, something along the lines. And then you write, please also see my solicitor's details. I look forward to hearing from you favorably. Signing off. Right? So something along those lines. You could put it into your own words, you know, something like that, but just putting forward simple, sweet, straight to the point. Because when an agent gets an offer, all they want to know is the number. I don't even want to care about all the fluff. What's the number? Okay, your number's this. Okay, why are you offering this? Oh, because of that? All right, well then let me tell the owner, see what they say. And then they would then advise the owner yay or nay, depending on your strength of your offer. So again, make it strong, but make it work within your numbers. So that's the very important thing. But put forward your offer and hope for the best. Now, there may be some negotiation that happens here between yourself and the owner. They might say, okay, no, I want actually as much as I can get. So let's go back and counter offer at, say, 95,000. And you're like, absolutely not. 95 is way too much, but okay, this is a starting point. This is where we're at. So, you know, the best I could do is, you know, 90, you know, or whatever the offer is. And then you would then come back, they would say, look, that's way too low for us, you know, this is where we are, and vice versa. So that's kind of how it works. You'd go into a little bit of a negotiation, a back and forth, until you reach the right number that works for both of you, and then you move forward with the purchase. But once an offer has been accepted, the next step will be to engage your solicitor. Now, before that, once an offer accepted, you will get a letter from your estate agent called a sales of memorandum, and on that will have all the information about the buyer's details, the seller's details, and both of your solicitors, and then the date that all this has come to agreement. Once you get the sales of memorandum, this would be the time your solicitor would usually get their own copy as well. So you'd already would have sent your solicitor's details. They would just shoot them over an an email of sales of memorandum, and then they will get started on their legalities, which is called conveyancing. And what that is when the solicitor checks the contract and all the legalities of the property. So it might do things like ground floor checks, checking with the council to see if there's any plans for the area or the property itself, and so forth. So the solicitor will start those checks. Now they can take anywhere from 4 weeks all the way up to 2 months. So conveyancing can be a long process. So you want to ensure you are working with a solicitor who is quite fast, and you won't really always know that. So what do? You get a recommended solicitor, someone who's worked with someone before. They know their stuff, they're quite good. It's in their interest to get through paperwork quite quickly and get through their clients quite quickly, so they can go on to the next person and make more money, right? So you want a solicitor who's fast, not someone who feels like they have all day and time is of the essence, and we do not need to rush because conveyancing is just a long process when it doesn't really need to be. So make sure you are finding the right people to work with who can push this through quite quickly, and then you'll be on to your next one. Now here you let the broker know that you have decided to move forward with the purchase, and here he will put his application in for the property. Now you would have already received a decision in principle, which would have been based on your finances, so hopefully it would not be too long of a progress, but it can be up to a month sometimes before you actually receive an offer. So it's better to get that in as quickly as possible when you know that you are going to move forward with the purchase of a property. Next is exchange contracts, and this is where all legals and all your legal elements will be ironed out by now. Everything would have been looked at, reviewed, all the conditions, the paperwork, everything. And here you are literally exchanging contracts. This is a formal agreement to buy. Okay, now here alongside with the exchange, you'd put down a 5 to 10% deposit. It depends what is requested, and then the remainder of the balance will be due upon completion. So exchange, once you put down that deposit, it is usually non-refundable unless there's a huge issue that's popped up that was not known, or the owner knew but didn't share the information, and therefore could have just been an illegitimate sale. So these are things that may happen, but when you're purchasing property outright using cash, here you want to make sure everything is concrete, because you are about to invest all that money into purchasing a property, so you want to make sure you get it right. Next on the list and last is completion. If you are purchasing cash, this is when you transfer the remaining balance to the solicitor, and that solicitor will then transfer the remaining amount to the seller's solicitor, and from there the seller will receive the money. Now this is the end of the transaction. From here you go and pick up the keys wherever they be, and once you got the keys in your hand, the seller's got their money, everyone is happy, the deal is done. Now if it's in a limited company, it's the same process. Everything is exactly the same. It's just that you're all acting on behalf of the limited company. So you'd be going to collect the keys as normal, and once it's in your hand, it's in your hands, you're good to go. Now you don't need to inform the company's house of anything, except from the fact that within 3 months of trading, you usually do have to inform company's house, so that's something to keep in mind. Other than that, you do your end of year accounts, keep your confirmation statement up to date. But that is it. You have purchased a property outright here in the UK, and the keys are now in your hands. So the process is simple, it's straightforward, and there's not much else to it. Purchasing property can be complex. There can be quite a lot to it. So it's important that you have the right team members guiding you through that process, whether it be a mortgage broker or a surveyor, someone who can help you with these purchases and give you enough information for you to make an informed decision. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, as it helps me understand what you like, what you're looking for, and it also helps my channel to grow. If you like property content, property information, mindset information, or just information around becoming a better person tomorrow, today, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. All the best.